last day of the European Contact Making Seminar, Youth Work versus Euroscepticism. The project was coordinated by Kasta Morrely Organisation, project co-funded by the Erasmus Plus program of the European Union. We are now together with a representative of your partner from Slovenia, Kutplak Cultural Artistic Association. Hello, welcome, and thank you to be here with us.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for having us.
I would like to ask you regarding your participation for the project. What was your motivation to participate? And how do you feel about the importance of the topic that was approached during the project, about the topic youth work versus Euroscepticism?
Well, especially the Euroscepticism is a big problem in Europe nowadays. We see UK leaving the family, mainly because of the Euroscepticism, which gained a lot of media attention in the UK. So we don't want this fear or this kind of energy to spread around the Europe, and especially not amongst the youth, because the youth is the future of the European Union. Youth is the one who is building new values and new Europe out of it. So we definitely want to work with youth on this important thematic, to give them all the information they need, to give them the tools how to divide the good from the bad news or fake from the real news. So yeah, definitely a very important thematic, and we are very happy to be a part of this project.
Thank you very much.
I would say topics, because Euroscepticism, although is not the biggest problem in Slovenia, I would say we have a much bigger problem, which is apathy, general apathy among youth. And of course the choice of countries participating, because I think it's really important and a clever thing to do, to invite countries which are candidates for joining European Union and not the old member states, because lately we could, in favor of let's say acceleration of the process of joining European Union, governments in these countries are trying to fight bigger and bigger Euroscepticism in these countries, which is a result of inactivity of the European Union and not being prepared to accept new member states, member countries, although they are ready and they did a lot of reforms so far, much more than the countries that have joined European Union previously.
Indeed, it is a challenge that we are all facing also among the European Union already member countries, and with the new accessing program, that even though it went in a lower process in the last years, however, we should have it into consideration and not let it to be affected or influenced by the other European Union or old member states evolution, and to really support and keep this cohesion at European level as much as we can. And considering this and the results of the project, I'd like to ask you, how do you appreciate the methodology that was approached in order to achieve the project results, and yes, and the project results by themselves? How do you appreciate it?
I find the methodology and let's say the way how to approach young people who are not familiar with the topic, with Euroscepticism, but they all have some, let's say, common or individual experiences about Euroscepticism in their own countries, was the correct one. Maybe it was lacking a little bit of, let's say, essence of determining what is Euroscepticism and how it appears and what are the reasons for appearing Euroscepticism in European Union. And there was maybe a little bit of too much theory, methodology, and let's say theoretical work how to prepare a project and present it to the European Commission and be successful with it. But it's a tool which always comes very good, And maybe with knowing these tools and these methods, these techniques, youngsters from different countries will do much more in the sphere of preventing Euroscepticism in general.
Thank you very much.
Well, we used all the methods used are the methods of the non-formal learning, which I consider the only and the right approach when we talk with youth, when we want to educate youth on the important topics like this one, because the formal way definitely will not give such a fruitful results as the non-formal gives. But as the colleague said, he saw it very formal when we talked about the projects and project applications. Well, here there is a lot of theory, and it has to have a lot of theory because this, nevertheless, it is a bureaucratic work. We cannot say it any other way. But generally, yes, non-formal methods used are, in my opinion, the only ones that they give results, because here the youth, the youngsters, the people participating in the non-formal education process are gathering and searching for informations on their own, let's say generally speaking, and together then we make information out of the data that we collect.
Thank you, and considering also your background, and thank you for your active involvement and sharing from your knowledge on Euroscepticism evolution and manifestation, also from your expertise and involvement in non-formal education. And considering that you are both active in youth work at organizational level, but also in human rights and promotion of the European values through the human rights, I'd like to ask you, how would you aim and how do you aim to continue the results of the project, or how do you see its multiplication in your community or in your further organizational and professional life?
Well, I saw the final results of this work here. It is manifested in advertisements, in radio advertisements, in postcards, and I think this is the beginning. This is the first step to approach broader youth community. Later on, of course, it would be definitely welcoming that you perhaps do an additional step to this project, bring it upper to the European institutions, and perhaps try to influence the general European policy on how to address young population in Europe in order to prevent the happening of Euroscepticism and this general apathy. You know,
Yes.
when young population will see that they can achieve something, that they can influence the decision makers in Brussels, they will definitely participate in this kind of process. Otherwise, we are, I'm sorry to say, but we are somehow lost in political, social, and civil apathy of nowadays.
Definitely a boost of motivation it is needed, especially after all this challenging time that we lived in the pandemic time, and by this way we can reboost the motivation of doing a practical involvement.
True. We are very satisfied with the tools that we produced here, especially the media tools that we have, the video, the radio ad, a bunch of posters, the commercials. So these are the tools that we will use directly in our communities and in our communication channels. But when we talk about broader impact on the community, and not just the community of youngsters, but the community as a whole, we have to think about how to organize such a successful project as here in our environment, because we are small environment, small community. Like a colleague said, people are very apathic. Also the youth the one that stays and is not moving to larger cities, following the opportunities that they open for them. And from what I know, our community and all the small communities, they always react when the blue flag with the red stars is in the city, in the community. This always has an impact, and I think the next step, I hope the next step is organizing a similar event or at least a youth exchange, if not a partner-making seminar in our environment.
It would be very nice to have this follow-up, and you have all our support for that, and happy to continue this cooperation.
Thank you.
And regarding this project, my last question would be, how do you appreciate the way that the project was structured and organized, and the flow of the project organization?
As I have already mentioned, I appreciate a lot the input of Romanian tradition into this project, because we really didn't want to have just another Erasmus Plus project without any soul, so to say. I would really say a big thank you for organizing a Romanian evening, presentation of Romanian culture, customs. I think this is the right way to do. It is not conservative, it is not over-traditional, it is just something that everybody in European Union should be proud of. So don't be afraid of showing your identity, and Erasmus Plus projects are always opportunity to present your culture, to present your heritage, and to present, after all, your soul and inner values. And all of this you had, and
Thank
you
you.
had.
And we are very
Present.
happy that we have with whom to present and to share and to value all of us. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
How the project is structured and
Yes,
how
and
it's satisfied,
organized.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, organized and structured was very well. I can tell by the faces of all of us, the participants. All of them feel fulfilled, not just happy. And also the results that we have. Like I said a minute ago, we have the concrete tools that we can use in our community and our community channels tomorrow. That is a very successful result, and I think the best one. The second one, we built, I think and I hope and I feel, strong partnerships. So in the future, for sure, we will be building some new projects and new opportunities for youth. So from all of these aspects, from the aspects of the results, it's a very successful project, and it wouldn't be successful if it wouldn't be well structured, well coordinated, and well executed.
Thank you very much. Thank you also for sharing all this information here and for your contribution, for your involvement, participation. We wish you also best of luck for your work, for your activities, good health. Stay strong and healthy, and continue being involved for the young people in your community and at European level. Thank you very much.
Thank you.